Welcome to today's edition of the Anaglyph Jukebox. You never know what you'll find on the old jukebox. Let's press B31. Okay, we've got 3D Dell featuring Rootie Kazootie. 3D, especially collecting stereo cards and non-contemporary 3D in all forms, tends to skew older in a jukebox's experience, while virtual reality skews younger. So travel back in time once more to the previous century and imagine you're watching the local New York City NBC affiliate WNBT on Saturday, October 14th, 1950, for the premiere broadcast of the Rootie Tootie Club. A children's show created by Steve Carlin, it ran for 5 years and featured human actors performing alongside hand puppets, which became a standard feature of a lot of children's programming from that day forward. The Jukebox's favorite was the 1961 Diver Dan show with the mermaid queen Miss Minerva, the ever-plotting Baron Barracuda, and his henchfish Trigger. Believe it or not, the show was filmed through a large fish tank, with real fish mingling with the puppet stars. It gave the show an authentic underwater look. Dell did produce a comic book adaptation, as they did for Rootie Kazootie a decade earlier, but sadly, no issues in 3D. And Dell's 3D adaptation of Rootie Kazootie is very special for another reason that sets it apart from almost all American 1950s 3D comic books. It was not drawn and hand-separated into layers. It is not a cartoon comic book at all. It was photographed in 3D and then the photos pasted up in panel format on pages with dialogue and sound effects added. This is in the style of the great Italian fumetti photocomic format. Fumetto means little puff of smoke, a reference to the word balloons that explain the action. See Fluky Luke, also from Dell. Rootie Kazootie was a little boy who was a huge sports fan and who played a magic kazootie, a magical kazoo. Rootie always wore his signature baseball cap with the oversized bill turned up. Puppeteer Paul Ashley controlled his movements. And Naomi Lewis provided both his voice and the voice of Rootie's girlfriend, Polka Dottie. This also helped establish a TV tradition of having an actress vocally portray a young boy or squirrel. See Nancy Cartwright's 33 Seasons and Counting as Bart Simpson, and legendary vocal artist June Foray, the voice of Rocky, the Flying Squirrel, Natasha Fatale, among many, many others. Frank Milano provided both the actions and the voices for their spotted canine companion, Gala Poochiepup, and for the arch-villain Poison Zumac, who constantly tried to steal Polka Dottie's polka dots and Rootie's magic kazootie. Life-size human characters included host and chief rooter Todd, Big Todd, Russell, and the non-speaking policeman, Mr. Deedle Doodle. The dog was originally named Little Nipper and resembled the mascot of the show's sponsor, RCA Victor. But the dog was renamed when RCA Victor dropped its sponsorship. Coca-Cola was also a major sponsor, to the delight of dentists everywhere. The show was performed live in front of a studio audience of schoolchildren. It took a small army of 50 people to create each 15 or 30-minute show. At the peak of the show's popularity, it was drawing between 2 and 3 million viewers a week, a huge number for that time early in TV's history. For context, in 1950, 3.8 million, or just 9% of Americans, owned television sets. And in 1953, fan mail came in at a rate of 32,000 letters a week. School kids were mad for Rootie Kazootie, and thus were willing pawns in a game called merchandising. That's when evil corporations separate poor mom and dad from their meager earnings to keep their children's kazootie lust satisfied. Toys and games including hand puppets, jigsaw puzzles, records, card games, drum sets, magic kits, little golden books, coloring books, and the Rootie Kazootie television paint kit were quickly produced and just as quickly sold. Today, they are collectibles, like this faded old comic book.